Ritts is a photographer that I learned to love through the years. At first, I had a bit of a problem with him, and I'll tell you why. He was a fashion photographer and magazine photographer in the 80s and 90s. And when I looked at his pictures, when I studied photography, and as I said, I studied photography. I didn't have any real education in photography. I just collected every single documentary, book, any resource that I could find online about photography, and I tried to gather all these material and study from that. When I first saw Ritts' pictures, it was as if it were looking at cliches, but it was before they became cliches. It was looking at things that you might say are very simple, homoerotic kind of 80s pop culture, very starstruck celebrities. I had an auntie when I looked at the pictures until I understood that he did them before they were cliche. He created the cliche. The cliche came after him when people tried to copy him. And for that, I have to say that I do admire him. Again, the fact that it's not my cup of tea, 80s, 90s magazine, nah. Still, the images are beautiful. They are amazing. Some of the portraits that he did are breathtaking. I mean, there is a lot of value there. A lot of value. And this is a lesson that I had for myself, because the first auntie was just because I was not aware of the full story. I looked at these pictures and I said, yeah, this is magazine work. I mean, come on. This is not a great photographer. I mean, the great photographers, they're dramatic, they do this, they do that. This look like something, there's the famous muscular guy standing with the tires and things like that. This is something that teenage girls put on their bedroom wall, a poster that you buy in the mall. This is not something that you should look up to. Then I looked in the other pictures and I started to understand that there is such talent there. There is such knowledge of the material that there's so much to learn from him. And if nothing more, I will tell you that this is a lesson that you should learn of never judging something based on your first reaction. Maybe there's something under the surface. Maybe there's something more to the story. Ritts is somebody that gained my admiration because he's a super professional, because he created these cliches, because he did this work of everybody looked like a Greek statue. Everybody is so sculptured and beautiful. It was part of the time. It was part of the culture. I recommend that you look into his work. There's a lot to learn there. Don't mind my silly, juvenile being judgmental and saying bad things about him. Again, this is my problem, which I hope I solved. Again, I'm talking about it and I'm telling you that he is a great photographer. So basically, I did solve it. Just keep it in mind that these kind of problems, sometimes we have them, sometimes we can learn from it. Ritts, great photographer, beautiful photos, great influence, great inspiration. Go check out his work.